Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of Kandi and the Gang Season 1 Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then y'all welcome back. Y'all please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Oh, before we get into it, do not forget to hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So when the episode first opens up, the OLG is getting ready to open. Bertha's showing up. Honey, she ready to clock in. Baby, the OLG say we gonna be in the place to be. The cameras are rolling, honey. Lights, camera, action. Because I can almost guarantee y'all, them old ladies don't be in there like that when them cameras ain't on, child. But y'all gonna get y'all shine, honey. I know that's real. Then we get introduced to Patrick. He's Kandi's cousin. He's Aunt Bertha's grandson. He's Kandi's godson. He's Aunt Bertha's son's daughter, son. Child, there was so much going on with the sons of it, whatnot. But all I can tell y'all is this, is that Patrick is Kandi's cousin / godson, and Aunt Bertha is his grandma. That's all I got for you. He is the parking lot attendant. Okay, I gave it some zhuzh because he go Kandi. He run the parking lot. Kandi. It's already bad enough he's 28 years old and you talking about he run the parking lot. Honey, I don't want no man that stand outside all day. $5, gonna be $5. You park over there moving them hands and them cones. Honey, I don't want nothing to do with that, okay, at your big grown age. I don't care how you looking. If you stand in a parking lot all day, it ain't gonna be able to happen. And the fact that you are saying he run the parking lot, don't worry about it, Patrick. Don't worry about it, honey. I gave you a little zhuzh. Patrick is the parking lot attendant, okay? There we go. He's 28 and a retired Casanova. Not a 28-year-old. I don't want no Casanova. Me and Romeo ain't never been friends. Oh, Casanova. Who is writing these old man titles? Child, listen. I don't know why they would name this man a Casanova. I guess it was better than calling him a Mac Daddy, a reformed Mac Daddy. Honey, I don't know what they could call him, but basically he was for the streets, okay? He was for the streets, and now he ain't for the streets no more. But a Casanova, child, I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready, y'all. Kandi said, the parking lot does very well, if you know what she mean, because all the women love to look at Patrick. And of course the parking lot is doing very well. He parking lot pimping, child. Moving forward, he said he wants to be the next Kandi in his family. He want to take care of everybody. That's good, Patrick. You want to get 4 or 5 of them parking lots if you want to take care of everybody. Because let me tell y'all a little side hustle, honey. Just a side note. Now listen, this is what I was thinking about. I was thinking about renting or buying some empty parking lots around the areas in Houston where, they have all the big events. Honey, I'm putting y'all up on game. Okay, now it's room for us all, so I'm going to give y'all this little tidbit. Or even in the city that you are in. When I tell you those parking lots make bank, when we have our Houston Astros games downtown at Minute Maid Park, parking is like $20, $25. And the parking lots are filled to the brim. So every time that they're having a game, those parking lots are making major bank. So, he might be a parking lot attendant today, but he might be a parking lot owner tomorrow. I'm just saying, honey, because I know I'm sure finna look into me some stuff, honey, because let me tell you something. You got to have 7 streams of income. Get into it. So he's saying that he wants to do everything for the family just like Kandi does. Melvin is also introduced. Now, we saw Melvin last episode, but this episode he's being more introduced to us. Melvin is the head cook and the kitchen manager. And Kandi is like, Todd be too hard on him sometime. Here go Todd. He is a grown man. She was like, exactly, that don't matter, but you still be being too hard on him. He's like, that's why we in the situation we in now. Todd hates for Kandi to take up for that family in any form or fashion. Ever since Mama Joyce showed out when they first got together, Todd does not like for Kandi to take up for anybody in that family. It's very weird. It is very weird, child. I'm like, Todd, calm down. In the next scene, we see Melvin and Patrick. They live together, and Patrick seems like a lazy. I'm watching this scene, and Melvin has cooked breakfast for the two of them, and they hovering over this countertop. And I'm like, child, where's y'all seats? I know y'all just moved in, but y'all ain't got nowhere to sit down. Child, this is a whole fool. Moving forward. In the next scene, Dominique shows up for a date with Brandon. Okay, dress. Okay, outfit. Ooh, it private. Vibe it like you wanna go over his house and drive it. I know that's right, girl. Shout out to TikTok. So, baby, she show up for the date with the dress and whatnot, and baby Brandon got his suit on, and they actually do clean up nice. I just want Dominique to let that adult baby hair rest. I can't even call it baby hair because it's been parted from the adult hair, so I just cannot. Dominique, I hate that hair. I hate that hair being swooped down like that. I'm sorry, honey. I just am not a baby hair connoisseur. Now, every now and again, you might get a little bit because my hair lays down ever so, but I am not about to start formulating no waves and all that. I just can't do it, y'all. It's just to each its own, though. That's just a side note. Moving forward. So they talking. And she's like, you know what? Brandon is like a movie man, you know, just like the nice man that's just tall and just, I'm like, oh, child, I don't know about all that. Dominique is like, you know, I never thought I'd date a Virgo. Okay, listen, when she said that man was a Virgo, I said, what? Say what now? Virgo men are different, though. I dated one Virgo. He treated me very well. I ain't gonna lie. He was a very good man. They're loyal. They're very sweet. I don't know if I see that in Brandon, but child, then towards the end, he started acting a whole fool. Okay, they are totally different from us Virgo women. I would have never pegged him as being a Virgo. So he landed on real thick, honey. Landed on as thick as them baby hairs. He said she looking like more than a schnizzak, honey. She looking like a 2 for $20 at Chili's, where you get the appetizer, the entree, and the molten chocolate cake for dessert. I know that's right, child. So he tells her straight up, I want to date you. She said, yeah, that could be complicated. He was like, yeah, you know, I understand that, but I ain't worried about the repercussions of being a manager, seeing an employee. So, child, why they flash forward to Todd and Kandi? I said, baby, shaded boots. But, honey, touche, because they did get together, and he was working on the show. So, I mean, and they worked out. They look good together, though. I do like the two of them together. So, their little date came to an end. And, you know, they get up to leave, right? So he gonna lean in and try to kiss her. Baby, she hit him with that Heisman. No, sir. Okay, sir. She don't want no kisses on no first date, baby. Please keep them lips to yourself. But Kandi, let me just say this. If you want me to believe that this is their first date, you must think I'm Boo Boo the Fool. Now, who is Boo Boo the Fool? We don't know, but as black people, we always don't never want to be Boo Boo the Fool. I said, Kandi, you know dang on well, this is not their first date. So they had their first date on camera. Okay, child. But they cute, though. Moving forward. In the next scene, we go over to Tauren's apartment. Hey, Tauren. And Chandrika shows up looking schnizzatched. I said, okay, I need to get that dress, child. She was looking good. Chandrika said she gonna show up dressed, and she meant that. Okay, because you ain't going nowhere but to the kickback. So you just go and put your little jeans on and go on over there. Baby, she fully dressed in heels and all that. So, child, Tauren got this hood charcuterie board out. Yes, I know it's charcuterie, but the way that board was looking, it was charcuterie. So he had that charcuterie board out. And I was thinking like, well, where's the food? And don't invite me. We from the South. Don't invite me to nothing that you are giving and or putting together. And I'm coming over to your place and we not going to eat. Honey, that's not going to work for me. Okay? That's just not going to work. So then Dominique gets there, and so they all sitting down. They started talking about the event, and they was like, did you get paid? He was like, nah, I didn't get paid, but, you know, I spoke to Don Juan about coming back. Kandi, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Y'all gonna have to pay these people, honey. What you mean you didn't get paid, but you talking about coming back? Well, honey, I know you coming back for the cameras because it ain't no way. Ain't no way that I am going to come and get ready to work and you ain't paid me nothing. Child, absolutely not. You need to get paid for that work and you need to get paid for the other work you're going to be doing. Because word on the curb is it's hard to get your check. So, child, you got to get your money. He's like, you know, it's in my heart. And I just really want, you know, OLG to be successful. Okay, but you still need to be getting paid. So Chandrika was like, well, you know, I just want you to get a feel for Phillip. Because, you know, he might be writing your checks. And he was like, he ain't going to be writing my checks. Well, honey, he might. He said, where they find him at? Here they go. On Indeed. Child, don't go listening to Drika, honey. She don't know him like that, child. Don't go listening to her. So then Tauren was like, okay, so Dominique, who you dating? She was like, well, you know, I'm dating. She was like, I don't really want to tell them who I'm dating. This is what she said in her confessional. She's like, I don't want to tell them because I ain't sure that I want them to know yet. I ain't even sure yet. So then Chandrika was like, girl, everybody done dated or hunched on somebody at OLG. And I'm going to say this. Okay, from when I used to work in restaurants. Restaurants are known for that. Trust me. The managers be sleeping with the hostess be sleeping with the cooks be sleeping with the servers be sleeping with the busboys. Child, it just goes down in the restaurant. Okay, honey, people be fighting in the back. Your food come out there grinning and skinning, sitting down your mashed potatoes and your side salad. Just got through cussing out a cook because she done found out that he's messing with a hostess. Trust me, baby. Anywho, that's just a side note. Moving forward. Tauren said, well, I ain't dated nobody in the restaurant, but I probably did, child, and has. In the next scene, it's the next day at the restaurant, and Aunt Nora and Mama Joyce, they coming there, they hanging out and whatnot, they working. So Melvin stopped by Aunt Bertha's house, who is his grandmother. So this is how it's going. Kandi is the older cousin. Melvin and Patrick are her younger cousins / godsons. Aunt Bertha is both Patrick's and Melvin's grandmother, but they are not brothers. Just so y'all can keep up, child. So he goes by and, he said he likes to visit his family whenever he has a minute free. Well, child, in a restaurant, do you ever have a minute free? Child, get one day off and feel like you got to go right back. Anywho, while he's at Granny's house, Kandi starts FaceTiming him. Child, ain't no way I'm doing all that cooking, and that's what I do all day. So Melvin is over there cooking some cabbage and some macaroni and some cornbread and some this, that, and the third. He doing all that cooking, and he still cooking OLG. Oh, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. So Kandi was like, well, he was a dishwasher and he worked his way up. She said, and he went to culinary school. Here go Todd. Yeah, you sent him. Okay, Todd. She helped him achieve his goals. See, Todd would get on my nerves. Like, I like Todd in some respects because he balances out Kandi because she has such a kind and giving heart, and she's so, she's so giving and she wants everybody to win. And sometimes she goes a little bit overboard with the loyalty, so Todd can kind of rein her in. But then at the same time, it's like, Todd, allow her to help her family succeed. Like, what is going on? So Kandi was like, well, he was loyal to us, so he stayed with us. And Todd, you better be grateful that he stayed with y'all, because with the culinary degree, he could be making major money over there frying chicken when he could be working at a Michelin star restaurant. Child, goodbye. So Kandi is talking to them, and she wants to get her cousin, Kim, and the OLGs together because it's been a fool between the family. Child, they fussing and fighting all up and through. So Kim is Aunt Bertha's daughter. I wonder if that's Melvin's mama. Child, I don't know. They didn't say, but I'm just wondering. And that's why you don't need to be mixing family with business. It gets too messy. Like, at first I was thinking, when I get on and, I want to put on for my city, I'm going to hire some of my family, but nope. Okay. Sweetie Pies. OLG. Portia hiring Lauren. No. Survey says absolutely not. Honey, I'm just going to leave that separate, y'all. I'm going to hire me some people that I ain't going to have a problem firing. Because once you intertwine your business with your family and it gets messy and now y'all got to be at family gatherings and she mad at you and you mad at her and y'all ain't talk, it's too much. It's just too much. Back at the restaurant, Brian shows up for his first day back. Hey, boo. And he was there the first week that they opened, and he said, that restaurant really helped him to up his game as far as being a server was concerned because they were always busy. In the confessional, they asked the OLGs what they thought about Brian. So the producers say, what did you guys think about Brian? When I tell y'all, I was hollering at this part. Why they like, Brian? You know who Brian is? You know who Brian is, child. And they was steady pointing to that hair club for me and hair piece that he liked to wear. I said, how many times they gonna point to that head, child? Oh, honey. They're like, yeah, I love me some Brian. Child, this is a whole fool. So Brian runs into Phillip. So Phillip is telling him that he's there to get them together and whatnot. He's like, yeah, I heard that Brian used to just do whatever he wanted to do. Well, you know what's so funny about Phillip? Phillip, I'm speaking directly to you, honey, because I know you listening to the reviews, okay? If don't nobody else on the staff listen, you know why I know you listening? Because you want to make sure that the people out here in YouTube land like you in some kind of way, or don't like you, but you want to know what they saying about you and you ain't fooling me. So let me just tell you something, Phillip, okay? Stop going off of secondhand information. Just like you don't want them to have a preconceived notion of who you are, get to know the staff. If you're a little bit more personable, I'm not saying you got to kiki with them and, and show up at their house on Sunday for dinner. But if you build a relationship and they learn to trust you, you can be as stern as possible because they'll respect you. Don't nobody want to work for a person they fear. Child, if you don't get out of here being a tyrant. Anywho, he talking to Brian and his toupee, child, and they ain't paying him nobody's attention. So Brian is looking over here at this floral arrangement, wondering, somebody, Kyle Willie Watkins and Phaedra, high class. Cause y'all know Willie Watkins owned that funeral home, honey. Somebody called Willie Watkins, cause Brian said them flowers look like they belong at the Willie Watkins funeral home. So as he's talking about that, then he takes his first table and he tells us that he does miss being a bartender, but for his sobriety, he can't do it. So then he tells us that during COVID, he realized that, he had a drinking problem. And he's getting his life back on track. And I commend him for that. And it takes a strong person to realize that they can't put themselves in certain environments. Because, people try to pretend like they're strong, like it's okay. I can be behind the bar. I got this. No, if you have a problem sobering up and you know that will trigger you into doing something that you may not want to do and that you will regret later, that's commendable. I appreciated that. Brian, one of those personable servers, because I saw he was interacting with his table. He a personable server. He like to kiki and caca with the people, and you ask him for a refill, and he be over there talking to the next table, and you don't get your refill for a good 15 minutes. Child, that's Brian all day long, honey. I knew some servers just like Brian. They're nice, and, they will get some good tips, but it takes them a long time to execute things because they play all day. Moving forward. So then they show Brian whipping through this restaurant like he ain't missed a shift. I'm like, Brian... Baby, he over there telling people to hold his mule and everything else, honey. AKA, hush for a second. Just hold on. Give me 1 second. Up in the front, he went over there to start talking to Drika, right? And y'all like how I done gave her a nickname. Hey, Drika. So he over there talking to Drika, and she's telling him that they're all going out. So Phillip and Brandon, they standing right there. So Brandon gonna say, yeah, cool, I'll go out. So Brian said, Phillip, do you go out? He said, no, not with you. Oh, baby. And so then in his confessional, he said, going out drinking with the staff, that's like a conflict of interest. Now, I have to agree with that. You need to create workplace boundaries. I do agree with that because I remember that they used to always ask me to go out. And I wasn't a manager or anything. At this time, I was just a server. But they would always be like, Misha, let's go out. We're going to go drink at this bar. We're going to drink at that. First of all, I don't drink, but I will go get a hot wing and a spinach dip after work. Now, don't get me wrong, honey. I sometimes. But I found that me not going was best because every time that they used to go out after work, it used to always be a rumor coming back, an argument done started, they done had a fight. Charlie was always a drunken mess when they would come back. So now, child, I'm good. Phillip, you made the right choice. In the next scene, everybody meets up for an after work get together to catch up, and baby, they all there. Tauren was like, Brian is like my little brother. We're real cool. Meanwhile, Brian is like, yeah, we tugged and pulled, but he working with a monster. He's saying, it's just too big for me. It's a little bit too big for my liking, honey. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Well, honey, seeing as how you his brother, what in the incest? Baby, this is all fool. So Brandon shows up, right? And Chandrika making it all obvious that Dominique is messing around with Brandon. Talking about, Rashad, get up and sit over there. Brandon, you come sit by Dominique. You go sit down there. I'm like, why are you rearranging them? And baby, Rashad better than me because I would have been like, no, I'm not getting up. He just got here. Girl, and what else is going on? Ciao, goodbye. So anywho, she making it all obvious. And that's why you can't tell big mouths nothing. Because then they start doing stuff to make it obvious. Like, girl, please. So then Patrick Starfish, he shows up and he starts talking about this woman that he's dating, calling her a cougar because she's 30. Boy, you are 28. Please pipe down. So then baby Chandrika tells us. She was like, yeah, me and Patrick, we were in a situationship. But Patrick wasn't hitting on nothing. So I moved on. So somebody could be hitting on something. And no thanks to Tinder, I'm engaged to June. And it will be 2 years. Oh, okay. Okay. And she was like, Patrick's girlfriend got the same birthday as me. I'm like, oh, child, that's weird. So they're all talking and whatnot. And Tauren asked who to look out for. So Brandon was like, I would look out for Phillip. Because, he has a different management style. So Tauren said, okay, so for what I'm hearing, Phillip might not be my type of guy. Okay, now mind you, he done got the 411 from Chandrika and now Brandon. So then they started talking about how OLG a little hood a little bit. But honey, we all knew that. They said the food could be good on a Monday and not good on a Thursday. And they're all like, see, that's a trip because the food should be consistent. And I agree. What happened to that chef y'all fake hired during the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Where is he? Because, child, I know he probably, trained everybody and then moved on. But the thing about these restaurants is that the consistency in the kitchen matters. If I come somewhere and I eat a dish and I'm like, oh, this is my favorite dish. Then the next time I come back, it's not the same. that speaks volumes to your training. That's when you have to keep them cooks overnight, not overnight, but you have to keep them after their shift, and maybe they need to do some type of training to make sure that everybody's recipes taste exactly the same. Like, it shouldn't taste good on a Sunday and then terrible on a Friday. It don't make no sense. Well, at least that's consistent with the reviews, child, because the reviews said the food is like up and down and down and up. So then Chandrika was like, and guess what, y'all? Why am I getting paid less than the people at the Family Dollar? She was like, I am getting paid $12. They are getting $15. Girl, Walmart getting $24. Child, you better put that blue vest on. Welcome to Walmart. Child, you better go on down to the Walmart. It ain't no way I could work for Kandi. It ain't no way, child. I can't work for no $12. At my big grown age, $12 with them charging you for air these days. And I ain't talking about the air you put in your tires. I'm talking about the air that you breathe with your mask on. And these rent increases too. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. Absolutely not. So Patrick over there, baby, he just listening. He's like, oh, okay, so they keep talking about OLG, then they can go. Well, Patrick, your family gonna have to get their affairs in order, okay? Everybody knows you get together after work to talk crap about the place you work. Come on now. Well, we know you work in the parking lot, so child, you don't know. But the people on the inside gonna get together to talk about the mess on the inside. And boy, goodbye. Moving forward. It's time for the family intervention. Kandi called for reinforcements, which is Weenie, who is her cousin. Y'all know we saw her a few times on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So she's coming because she needs to help them get themselves together. Kandi says she's the glue that sticks the family together. So the family gets there, child. So Kim gets there. So Kim said, you know, the family was fine until they started getting this restaurant, and then everything just fell apart. She was like, then the last time I spoke to Mama Joyce, or Aunt Joyce, she was cussing me out. She was like, wait a minute, hold on, it's on Facebook. Child, not Facebook. Baby, when I tell y'all Facebook got the seasoned people in a chokehold, baby, they gonna go to Facebook for everything, for a death, for a birth, for an announcement, for you to call them. Child, it's just too much. Facebook is just too much, honey. I'm sorry. Meta. Mama Joyce said, you know, when y'all walked out, and all I said to y'all was, how y'all gonna walk out after Kandi did all this for y'all? So Kim said, nah, that ain't what you said. What you said was, get this MFing kitchen together. And this my MFing restaurant. So Mama Joyce was like, I ain't even say that because I don't even consider it my MFing restaurant. So baby, it was MF for this and MF for that. So Aunt Bertha was like, why y'all doing all that cussing so? What's wrong with y'all? I believe Mama Joyce said that. Kandi, I'm sorry, honey, but I'm going to have to call a spade a spade. I believe Kim, and I do believe that Mama Joyce cussed her out because we all know how she did with Karma. And where is Karma? We ain't seen her. But Mama Joyce, you like to do that. So I believe that you actually did do that. So Kandi was like, you know, it just really irritated me that you was trying to get people to go to the other spot. Child, I can hear the Kandi tears coming. Y'all, please leave Kandi alone. Please leave her alone. She's like, I didn't do that. So then they were like, well, more than one person said it. So Honora was over there nodding her head, right? So then she got mad that Honora was agreeing with the foolishness. So baby, then Honora jumps up and she's like, I heard what Joyce said. I just going off of what Joyce said. Baby, then Honora was ready to fight. She was like, punks jump up to get beat down. Then Honora goes around in a circle, and then Kim going around her, and then Kandi jumping in the middle. I'm like, oh baby, this right here, this is a fool. She was like, I will throw your butt down like I did before. Oh my goodness. Kandi said, everybody think Honora the sweet one, but she ain't all that sweet. Honey, I did think Honora was the sweet one. Child had me thinking Aunt Bertha was the mean one. Aunt Bertha just got RBF. Honey, she ain't really about that life. But I think Mama Joyce and Honora really will go toe to toe with you. So then, you know, Kim was like, I just want the family to get back together, and I'm sorry, and all this, all that. So Aunt Bertha was like, y'all gone hug. Kim said, now you taking it too far. Here go Honora. Now she got to stay from around me. She got to stay from away from me. Honey, I know that's real. In the next scene, Kandi gets to the restaurant and sees Patrick at the bar. Baby, and he is ready to snitch. So he snitches real quick. He's like, yeah, so everybody was talking about the consistency of the food and how they don't get paid enough. So Kandi was like, who said they don't get paid enough? He was like, yeah, Chandrika said that. Baby, he couldn't wait to spill them beans. I don't know why they invited him. Y'all know y'all can't talk around this woman's kinfolk. Child, that's a whole fool. So here go Kandi. Well, she barely comes to work, and she needs to say that to the people that pay her. Kandi, you ain't gonna bust a grape, child. If you was gonna fire her, she would have been gone a long time ago. But she does need to be careful, honey, because y'all know Kandi do not like for you to talk about her in the way that she pays people. Y'all see what happened when that other guy, what was his name? Johnny. Y'all see what happened when Johnny wasn't getting paid right. Child, when he said that, Kandi said, well, let this be your last event. You don't have to worry about me paying you no more. Y'all remember that? When Kandi had that I Dream of Jeannie ponytail and they was getting ready to do that bedroom Kandi event, and baby, she walked in there and Johnny had been talking stuff and posting on the Instagram. Baby, Kandi got him all the way together. We ain't seen him since. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tauren shows up to meet Don Juan and he sends him over to the event space where Phillip is working, right? But before he did that, Don Juan was like, I'm having mixed feelings about him coming back because he just like never showed up. But then he said it was because of, the beer virus. And then I see a picture of him at the park, maskless, like the parade wasn't even happening with like 20 or 30 people. So I don't know. He was like, but I just feel like I just need to help him. I don't know about that. If that's the way that he quit, then he's bound to do that again. I don't think I could trust him with returning, but that's just me. I mean, because if he walked out, he could never return for all I care. So he gets over to the other side, right? So he comes in, he's just looking around. Now, mind you, he's not expecting anyone to be in there, but Phillip is there. So Phillip is like, hey, he spoke to him when he walked in. He's like, let's chat. But Tauren got a little chip on his shoulder, child, because they already filled him in about all things Phillip. So Phillip starts talking about the chain of command and how him working there is contingent upon him feeling like he's capable of working there. Tauren is like, in his confessional, I don't do arrogance. And that is reeking off of Phillip. He said, I wasn't expecting a formal sit down. So Tauren starts explaining who he is and what he does. Baby ran down his whole resume. Okay. And Phillip felt like Tauren came in with the intent to check him, and that if the other people couldn't check him, then neither could he. So at this point, it's a pissing contest. But to be honest, quiet as it's kept, y'all both getting on my nerves. Phillip, sweetie, you are not the owner. Okay. If they ain't fired Chandrika and he walked out and he came back, they ain't gonna fire him either. Now, to his defense, he didn't realize anybody was going to be in this space, okay? Don Juan sent him over there. Now, if you wanted to meet with him first, then that should have been made clear. I don't understand where the animosity is coming from. It's too many chiefs and not enough Indians in this restaurant. I feel like Phillip wants everybody to know that he's in charge. Like, we get it. We know, Tink Tink. We know you in charge. Now, if you're upset that he's back, then you need to take that up with Kandi and Todd, because they said that they wanted him back, so it ain't nothing you can do about that. So Tauren is like, well, I told you who I am, and you've yet to tell me what you do. He said, I'm not going to explain myself to you. I'm not applying for a job. He said, and neither am I. Oh, baby. Okay, Tauren, honey. Now, I feel like in that moment, you were doing a little bit too much. Like, they done told you you're not going to like him. And here you go. I do feel like Phillip could have introduced himself more formally, though, because this was your idea, okay? You could have left him be. He wasn't bothering you. You could have left him to do what he was doing. You were over here doing something. He was coming over here to do what Don Juan asked him to do. You are the one that decided to have a formal sit down. So if I'm going to sit down with you, I want to know exactly who you are, especially if you're going to be managing me. Boy, goodbye. No, so Tauren goes, well, I would think as a management team. Phillip goes, well, you don't need to think. Okay, we don't pay you to think. You need to stay in your event planning role. I mean, he was in his event planning role until you started this unnecessary conversation. He's like, well, I make money for the restaurant. I'm back through Kandi's mouth, and you can take that up with her. Phillip was too stunned to speak. When I tell y'all Phillip was speechless, baby, and that is a first. Honey, he went toe-to-toe with Tauren, but he wasn't expecting Tauren to go toe-to-toe with him. Oh, child, this is a whole fool. Phillip, you're going to have to loosen up just a bit. I'm going to have to take Tauren's side on this one. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode of Kandi and the Gang at the Candy Coated Restaurant. I thought it was cute. We're going to have to pick up steam a little bit because I'm getting a little bored. Anywho, y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.